Ghana won? Yes. Should we have won? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mallam Go Podcast. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Guys, we're back again after 2 victories, 2 games, 2 wins, 6 points against Bagbo. Against his dead. Somebody said Ghana was going to get 0 points from those 2 matches. But we have 6 points now.
You speak the Ghana,
which Ghana? Against Bagbo, against Godai.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. Listen, Danny K is here.
Oh, God.
Hat-trick hero. Hat-trick hero. Hat-trick hero.
Oh, Charlie.
Hey, Danny K.
Oh, Charlie.
The stars are aligned. It's like, you see when you play the Tetris game, and then you play, and then the thing set. The same, when it's dropping, it's dropping. And when it gets down there, it drops then.
Salaba. Oh,
give them move. Give them move. Give them move.
Salaba.
Give them move.
Did the airborne mean to attack?
Brothers. Jordan Ayew hat-trick. 4 goals in 2 matches for the Black Stars.
Clean.
He's now entered top 10 goal scorers. In fact, top 7 highest goal scorers in Black Stars history. Jordan Ayew.
That should have been long overdue.
Jordan has more goals than Didi.
That should have
Yes,
been
he
long
does.
overdue.
Because has he played more games?
No, but if the people had listened to me for the past 5-6 years he would
And
have
dropped
said-
him.
No, not dropped him.
What have you been
I've
saying?
always said he should play through the middle.
But you have always said that
You
Jordan
never
Ayew is
said
not
it
a
to me.
striker. You have said it
Me.
many times.
Me.
Yes, you said his brother Moms should play through the
No,
center.
I've said the
Hey,
2
coach.
of them, if they are to play
They should pair
through the
them.
middle. No, not pair them. One should sit on the bench, one should play through. So it's like direct substitution.
Hey, I just trust. I'm there crying. I show phones. What
You
are you?
understand?
Look at this man. Today he's where is Sicho?
I'm looking at, today.
Hey, please, we don't want to
No.
go into Green Book.
Yes, initially the first clippings of the Green Book, the GFA dropped. It looks like they misquoted their own rules.
They did, but
Yes.
that story is earlier today.
So I
You
haven't
want
downloaded that one. I took notice of it. But for the purpose of this conversation,
I saw it.
I need to get the correct.
Chazan, what club jersey are you wearing?
Girona.
Girona.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. Listen, thank you for coming. I don't know where Sicho is. The guy is chasing money.
He's making money.
They say Mallam Go is not rich. We don't
Why
have
you
money.
lie? The guy did a bathroom side and you still. You see the guy is chasing him.
let's see how long it
Let's
takes
see
him.
how long.
It takes him to
get
get
out of
here.
that washroom.
If he gets here at all, if he doesn't come, the guy is shit for a fancy side. But listen, this episode, we are going to review the Ghana versus Central African Republic game, which ended 4-3, by the way, in favor of Ghana. But more importantly, I like to title this episode, What We Learned from Those 2 World Cup qualifying matches. What did we learn? We did an episode on what we learned from the 2 friendly matches. There were some scathing assessment of Otto Addo. And that was then that somebody predicted that Ghana was going to
Lose against Mali.
Ghana was going to
It
Lose
seems,
against Mali.
it seems you are overly.
They will lose.
What?
I was sitting in
It
this.
seems.
Oh, sitting here.
Hey, DK,
It seems.
reenact that moment for me. You were talking, and then I went to him and said that. Then he said,
He said, put
You're
a
sitting
camera,
here.
put a camera on my face. He was sitting here.
he was
And I
here.
sitting
He
by
was
him.
here. He was looking at this camera. Look at that. Zero.
He said, Ghana will lose in Bamako. Put a camera on my face and put me anywhere. And I was looking at him like this. Salaba.
Your face was like this.
You see?
You that. All right, guys. So anyway, but Ghana now has 9 points. I beg your pardon. 9 points. Ghana is not top of the group. That belongs to Comoros. Charlie, the people are cockroaches and they're refusing to die. They are top of the group. They won again. So they are back on top of the group on goal difference. On goal difference. Comoros, okay? Top of the group on goal difference. Ghana, the Comoros, same number of points. But But it's a very, very big difference, a different position from what the table looks like before these last two matches. Ghana was down in 4th position. And after just 2 games, it looks like the World Cup qualification was already in jeopardy. But you're back! Who did that? That's right. It's all right. We are back!
USC.
Listen, a lot happened. Coach obviously wouldn't like to speak first. Even if I ask him to speak first, he would say he won't speak first.
Easy.
Danike, you were in Kumasi.
He wants to speak
I'll
first.
not speak
Do you want me to speak first?
Yeah, he wants to
I want you to speak first.
Let me speak first.
Quick.
Listen, Coach, the Central African Republic game, we already did an episode reviewing the Mali game in particular. Let's look at the Central African Republic game. 4-3 it ended. It was a rather nervy end to the game and a very, I don't know the adjective to use for the end to the first half. It was a very disappointing end to the first half. That's why I wanted to start with these two.
No, you
because they
start.
were there.
You start with me.
The team was booed off the pitch. I wanted first-hand information of what happened.
You start with me, don't worry.
You are not interested in.
I'm very much interested in starting. You know what?
That must have impressed you, no? 4-3.
No, I wasn't impressed.
Hat-trick for Jordan. Impressive, no?
That I was impressed.
Okay.
But not with the performance of the team. And to be honest with you, that game shouldn't have ended 4-3.
Doesn't matter, though.
I'm coming. You would have come back if it had gone the other way. Look, truth be told, the people were robbed. Unless you don't want to say it. Me, I'm not a hypocrite. Me, you know me, I don't do my things like that. I'm happy we won.
Now you are
Central
capping.
African
Hold
Republic
it, coach.
were
Hold it.
robbed. Look,
Hold it.
try and
Hold it.
position this thing correctly for me.
Who robbed
He
who?
started again.
Who robbed who?
We were robbed.
Who was robbed?
Hey, we were robbed. You were part of them.
No, Central African Republic. They were robbed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you
Before
refer
God
to
and
Central
man.
Africa? Did you say we?
No, that was a slip of tongue. You see, you are always trying to put me
He
out
said-
there to be stuck.
He said, I'm
Let
happy
me-
we won, but
But
Yes.
We were robbed.
no,
It was a mistake.
listen to me. Unless you are a dishonest person, that is where you will not admit that indeed Central African Republic.
All right, coach. Now you're just taking this a bit too far.
No, I'm not
How
taking
was
it a
Central
bit.
African Republic robbed? Ghana scored 4.
That first half should have been 3-1.
How so?
They scored a perfect goal. That was never an offside. Go back. You've watched it. He's watched it. We've all watched it again.
Mm.
True or false? If that goal was scored by the Black Stars and it was disallowed, look, if I had my way, I'll get onto the pitch and deal with the referee good. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I'm not going to do that. I don't do my things like that.
You think the goal should have stood?
But at least Ziggy stopped playing.
Ask this man. That was a perfect goal.
Yeah, he was onside.
Yes.
So
But-
that was a goal.
No, coach.
Oh, Massa.
The whistle went and the goalkeeper stopped playing.
playing.
At least stop playing. He never saves 1v1. There were 2 1v1 prior to that. They all ended up at the back of the net. So whether he continued to play or stop playing, the guy would have scored. What are you talking
That
about?
is so
And
low.
the first
Come
one was
on.
particularly
Wait.
disappointing. The first goal.
No, that one crowd, there was nothing he could do about
You
it.
sure?
That is
Yes.
so low. You can't say that.
No, but you see, on the face of what we witnessed, there were 3 1v1 situations. They all ended up in the back of the
Okay,
net.
so apart from that offside goal, where Gay was.
I'm coming.
Where was the robbery?
The penalty we were awarded
Yes.
was not a penalty.
Oh,
Was it soft or was not?
Come on, coach.
You see, look at the man. He's trying to modify. Was it soft or it was
It was
not?
a penalty.
So you know, what did you think it was?
But I'm saying that soft penalty, hard penalty, one word is constant
Look,
in it.
From
Penalty.
what I saw with my 2 eyes, the defender never touched her.
He
Rather,
did. He shoved him.
he did
Come on,
what
Nimi.
are you
Come
talking
on.
about? He shoved too. The man just held his ground and our player rather kicked into his calf and
So
fell
there was
down.
contact.
Who made the contact? Isayaku made the contact.
He contacted who?
The Central African Republic defender.
So the defender to touch this out.
I never knew that if I kick you,
Did he kick him?
the foul goes against you.
I have
I'd
seen it.
rather
I
kick
have
you.
seen it before.
Okay. Look, and then they had a clear penalty. I'm happy Ghana won.
They had a clear penalty.
Yes. That Kamara didn't tackle on the player.
It was a clean tackle.
It was a perfect penalty. You see, there are people who will not say things on video because they don't want to be cut and put out there for people to come at them. Me, I'm not a hypocrite. From here, go and take my video like you did. Take my video 100 times. Put it out there. Everybody out there in the world know that, coach, when it comes to Nimli, I defend my principle all the time. When I said we'll lose, you went and put my video out there for people to come at me. You read the message to him, isn't
But
it?
you said we should take post
Listen. So you posted it.
Wait.
Listen.
Did you not say that we should start sharing
No.
it? Did you not say that?
It was an order.
Listen.
You said
He said they
I
should
didn't
start
order
flying
you.
that video.
I didn't
Start
order.
flying that.
I ordered Betway to do
But we
so.
are part
Not
of the team.
No, you are not part of the team. I didn't order you to do so. I didn't order you to do so. But thanks for doing so because you boosted my
Your
fame.
ratings.
Of course.
Let me read the message you sent to him after he posted
Read it.
everything. Tell DK to post my video when we fail to qualify.
Oh.
He who laughs last laughs best.
So won't qualify.
It is just one game. He's making me famously famous.
Now go deep.
He didn't like your message. Look, to an more serious note, coach, I feel like you're capping.
No. Let's
Why if you say that?
You see,
I thought it was a hard-fought victory.
no, listen
It
to what
wasn't
I'm
a
saying.
perfect game.
I'm looking at the situation where
Did we not deserve to win?
I'm saying on the face of what I saw,
The performance, yes.
Central African Republic did not deserve to lose. If I was at the other end, if we were being treated the way they were treated, you go ballistic. You will not accept that. I'm coming to look at the football, but I'm saying that there were key decisions in the match that didn't go, that went in our favor and didn't go in their favor. And I've highlighted 3 very important, clear decisions. I mean, it changed the tide of the game.
3 or 2.
3.
The penalty.
The penalty we were awarded, the
The one
penalty
they
that
didn't
was
get.
not given to them, and the clear, perfect goal they scored that was disallowed. These are 3 major decisions. All went against Central African Republic. Unless you don't want to be honest. Me, I'm not a dishonest person. By the way, those of you watching me, the man sitting by me off camera admitted Sventio and Ayew here are my witness. He admitted
Admitted which one?
that 1, the penalty should have been given to Central African Republic. 2, their goal should have stood. Unless, I don't know you to be dishonest.
I admitted that the guy wasn't offside. That penalty you are talking about was a clean tackle from Kamara. One of the best tackles I've ever seen in my life.
You know what's about? You know what's about?
Coach,
Off camera, we agree.
we shall not bring off-camera issues into camera.
No,
Look,
don't do that.
there are things I say off camera. Me, when I come in camera, I say it.
But that is you.
That is you.
You are a hypocrite. You don't
No,
want to
no,
be
no,
taken
we're not
for.
hypocrites.
I'll face, look,
Now you are adding
I'm
things.
facing them
I didn't
squarely
even say
here.
that.
You are adding things
I
you
didn't
didn't
even
even
say
say.
Now let me look at the game.
No. You're adding things
I
you
didn't
didn't even
say that.
say.
You are
Coach,
putting
you are
words
just
in
being
my
a nuisance.
He
Move
spoke
on.
about the offside, not the penalty.
I didn't speak
but-
about the penalty.
And so,
I
As
spoke about-
you, let him move on. He's just
so if
being
you
a
add
nuisance.
if
Go
you-
on.
if you add the goal, it's 4-4.
Right. Additional
Coach,
debit and credit.
Move on. Fine.
So that clearly tells you that
The-
we won. Yes, Ghana won. Yes. Should we have won? No. Then we won.
Okay,
so that
you've
you
made that
on
point.
track.
I want
Now
to,
let's go.
let's go to the game. Coach, first half, we were down 2-1. We struggled. Clearly. With the defending wasn't great. Offensively, we had issues. The second half, Otto made some changes, turned it around. The application, the commitment, individual players taking responsibility. The second half was much better.
So
Let's go through the phases of the game.
So let me start with it. I've said Otuado himself had not the selection of players wrong, but the positioning,
Deployment.
deployment, very wrong in that phase. In fact, it was the main reason why we kept struggling. And very obvious, the 2 wide men.
That was the first mistake.
That was the first mistake.
Okay. What was wrong with them?
Isayaku to go left and Kamara to come right. That was very wrong.
He went traditional.
Yeah, he
So
went
right-footed,
orthodox.
right? Yes. Sir.
But you and I know those 2 players don't flourish like that. They rather want to be inverted. So that was the first mistake.
Yeah.
Mistake number 2. Look, that Ali Duseidu boy.
Who played that right back?
Yeah, we need to start looking at him very, very well.
What's the issue?
He's a bad tackler of the ball. Very bad. I won't use the very, very bad. And we are not looking at it because we are winning. The manner in which we conceded that second goal in particular can be attributed to him.
I think he lost the ball,
He
then chased it and came to shove the player.
he didn't chase
Was
anybody.
walking.
Was walking.
And then went to shove
only
the player into Salisu.
Salisu. And then Salisu just
Who was running to come and cover?
to come and cover him.
His
to
first
come and
mistake.
cover him.
Yes.
Then he pushed the player
to
into
where he-
Salisu to where he and the ball just went past the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Let's put that aside. Look, again, that Partey Salis combo is something we need to look at going forward.
These
At
2
the-
games, it's become an issue.
It's become very clear.
Yeah.
You cannot, you see, as a team.
Why is it not working?
No, technically, one player is not good enough to be there. I don't understand why this team can only pass the ball forward from midfield if and only if the ball gets to Thomas Partey. It's very bad. At that level, I can't imagine of a midfielder who cannot pass the ball forward.
Is it not possible that they have different responsibilities?
No.
One's job is to recycle possession. The other one
So
is to initiate
after
play.
recycling the possession, do you always need to go to him to pass the ball forward? If there's a channel for you to pass it forward yourself.
Wow.
That cannot be the case. And from the way he's playing, when we meet any team and the coach recognizes that, you remember in the first leg,
The Nigerian.
the Nigerian game in Kumasi,
Mark Partey.
when they eclipsed Thomas Partey, we were completely toothless. Babatu, who was the partner, they couldn't pass the ball forward. So we're just there, not being
It
able.
was so difficult to find Partey in that game.
Very difficult.
They just blocked all the passing channels.
Very
I
difficult.
remember watching it so frustrated.
And we were at the stadium that
Yeah.
day. We were all very frustrated. You could clearly see that was our problem. So we need to look at that. Now, the way the individual players played in that first half. Very
You just
unacceptable.
picked out like 3 individual players and
Yes.
you are now going to which individual
I'm going
players?
to look at the entire team.
Okay. You
Number
started
2,
with
very
systematic
bad.
deployment.
That defensive,
Center back pair. Why is that not also working?
I think they both see
Because so
themselves-
far, it doesn't
It's
look to me
simple.
like
they both see themselves as masters.
that's it.
Yes, that is the problem. That's the problem. Because one plays for who? Fenerbahce. One plays for who?
Monaco.
I don't know where in the world have they been told that when we have the ball and we are going through the middle of the park, they should be this wide. I don't know who taught them that. Nobody's calling the other. That come closer, let be a bit narrow, especially when you had, before the guy scored that goal,
The first goal, you mean?
before he scored the first goal, the Central African had tried that pass twice already.
And they kept trying after the goal.
And they kept trying it
Yeah.
because it was clear they had seen the gap. And the guy was always operating in between the 2 of them. And they kept being very flat. You can be flat, that the moment we lose the ball, do this. And in doing it, whoever is in front, go and close him down. And then just make sure he doesn't have the full control of the ball. And the one behind you picks it up, and we are about to go.
So is that an individual problem or a systematic issue?
It is
Even
not-
Gamin,
Yeah.
last year's game against Central
Yes.
African
Yes.
Republic, the same
Same thing.
Yeah. At that time, it was Jonathan Mensah
The same issue.
Jiku.
and Jiku.
The same issue. So it is not a coaching problem. It is lack of awareness problem, which will normally crop up when there's no proper leader or the two gentlemen sees themselves as bosses in their own right. Therefore, nobody's ready to say, look, you do the marking, I step away from you and be free.
So here's my issue though. So like Daniel alluded to, two different centre-back pairings, two different games, same opposition, same coach. Because that was Otto too.
No.
No, that
Central
was
African Republic, away from it. It was his second qualifier
I'm
against
talking
Madagascar.
about Central African Republic,
Here
the
in Ghana.
last AFCON qualifier, the one Newham scored. That's how we consider
That's how we
goal.
consider
lost
that.
it in midfield.
And then
Well,
All over
now
the top.
I'm referring you to the 1-1 we played against them in Angola, the first leg.
The first leg,
Yeah,
the
that was
same
also
thing.
the
It's the same thing.
That was
the
also
same-
Otto.
Yeah, that was
also
Otto.
And that was also the same.
So I thought that's what you were referring to.
You see, it's not a coaching thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not a coaching thing.
Okay, so you go
The
on.
two of them are refusing to submit. You see, in a game of football, between the two gentlemen, we've seen John Terry Cavalli, we've seen Ferdinand Vidic, we saw Stephen Tete Ajimendria. You do the marking, I pick up the loose ball. Simple. When you go, the two of them, who do I think should be doing the marking? I think Jiku should be doing the marking.
He's a better one.
He's a better one-on-one, and then Sally should just lay back a bit and then pick up the loose ball, and because he's a better passer of the ball compared to Jiku. Simple. Just establish that fact, and we all have our role clearly defined, and we do our job excellently. Now, in that first half, the nature of the pitch was very, very bad throughout the game.
Yeah, it was a terrible
So,
pitch.
as professional players, you should know the sort of things you are capable of doing on the pitch and the things you are not capable of doing. The manner in which Kamadin, Kudus, Isawaku held on to the ball without involving the other, unless they find themselves in a much more difficult situation, was so annoying. No wonder Kudus had to respond to some people on social media.
on Twitter. That was wild.
And I'm telling him, he better stop that. If he doesn't know, we love him. Nobody is giving the sort of support in Ghana here when he touches the ball. Michael Essien wasn't giving that support. Suleiman Tari would not, you know, he had Muntari when anytime he touched the ball. Even the great Stephen Appiah was not, his name was not more or less mentioned and
Kudus is
echoed.
loved.
He's loved.
He's worshipped. Not
He's
loved.
worshipped. So he better stop that. Those people closer
To
to
be
him
fair.
should tell him
Okay.
that don't respond. But those who love you are the same people who will criticize you constructively. And to those doing the
I
criticism,
like that you mentioned
Yeah,
that.
constructive.
Constructive criticism. Some people, it's just vile abuse.
Yeah, but
Don't
what he
uncover
responded
them.
to weren't abuse.
Yes,
The comments he responded,
responded
to,
to-
they were
they were very
valid
genuine comments.
queries.
I have them here.
So, all that I'm saying is that for a player of that stature, you don't need to go into social media to respond to your own supporters when they think you didn't or things didn't go the way. And look, and in that first half, truth be told, he held on to the ball too many times, very unnecessarily.
If somebody says that you people for talk could do the truth, he's not Messi. Neither is he Ronaldo. He should stop doing too much and release the ball quickly.
That is not an insult.
Yes, but you had the tone there,
He's not
It's-
Messi.
But
which is a fact. But
it's not
you need
Ronaldo.
you
to
can't police emotions.
That's it.
You can't
Yes.
police public commentary.
Fair enough. And to be fair, I felt like this probably looks like built up emotion because after the Mali game too, he was giving a lot of stick because people said he was poor, blah blah.
Was he
So
not poor?
with this one, he responded to the person and says, "Master, shut the fuck up."
You don't do it.
Right?
He must be told. Look, if I was him, I would have dropped that tweet by now.
What about this one? Somebody said, Mohamed Kudus needs to be talked to. What kind of selfishness and unnecessary ball control is that?
That is not an insult.
That's not it.
That's not an insult. They're criticizing you. That's not
To
an
that
insult.
person, he says, "Come and talk to me yourself."
You see?
That's. I mean,
You see?
and this one says, "I think the hype is getting into the head of Mohamed Kudus now, bro. Play the ball like you play for West Ham, for fuck's sake." And then Kudus replies and said, "Nobody they beg you for hype. Sean the fool." Right?
You see?
Then
Yeah.
the last one he responded to, the person said, "Bro, you shouldn't have done that." Somebody came to tell him that he shouldn't have responded to another person. Ignore and be of your best. Then he says that sometimes you need to tell them, bro, they sit behind keyboards and be doing dumb stuff. Listen,
Double down on.
yeah. Coach, I mean, continue with your point. I have a separate view. I just feel like bullies have to be confronted with the same energy. And I've noticed
somebody's
this thing on
worries.
social media that a lot of the people who hide behind keyboards and insult people, when you give them a taste of their own medicine,
Hey.
Except
Then-
these weren't bullies.
Do you know what I do?
no, I think, like you're saying, these are the ones he responded to. But you, I'm sure, on the timeline, saw even more vile ones.
Which is true.
But so,
But Fence, Kudus, just
Nobody-
before
obviously, he couldn't have
Nobody
responded to
knows.
all of them.
I don't know those people.
Fence, here's the thing.
Those people,
Who I always
whatever
say-
they said, was not getting
No.
the man.
And you see,
the mileage came from when he started.
That is also true.
You
That is
understand?
also true.
And
The
that is
comments
what-
became. We are
I
reading them
don't-
now because he responded.
Exactly. I
We would
don't
never
want
have
him-
gone there.
Listen, if you look at the manner in which he's loved, I don't want him to get involved.
Okay.
So people have to manage him.
All right.
Because look, today the team won. oh. So the impact of the things he did wrong has not been felt. But imagine he lost the ball on that first goal. He did. Should he have lost that ball? No, there was so many passing options.
Was that the incident with him and Kamaldeen? I think they were trying.
That
No.
was the second goal.
No, that's a second goal as well. Yeah.
You understand? Even the second goal. So all that Ghanaians were trying to look, pass the ball. And then let's go to that second half. The best 30 minutes I have seen the Black Stars.
Absolutely.
Hey, I don't remember the last time I saw the Black Stars play with that level of intensity, braveness, aggression, willingness to make sure that every other player
A
is
sense of responsibility.
goodness me. I was like, wow. What has gone on in the dressing room? Credit to Coach Otoado. But again, the message was clear. Look at the supporters here. You've been booed off the pitch. Go and get them to clap for you. That is what I would have told them. The same people who booed you, they cannot wait to applaud you when you do the right thing. How do you do the right thing? Get on the ball. Let the ball do the movement. Move off. Look at that first 30 minutes of the second half. 1, 2, Kudus, pass, Partey. Isaac now isolated the fullback properly. Then when you are running at him, it's 1v1. Run at him.
Because they swap flanks.
Kamadi, now they had gone inverted. And you could clearly see that is the strength of the two guys. What I loved was the movement of the ball in that second half. Because that is how you beat. Because in the second half, Central Republic had come and created a certain defensive shape, waiting to play on the counter. But they knew they had gotten us where they wanted us to be. And in fact, before we equalized, there were two very dangerous counterattacks, which means it was a gamble. It could pay off, it could backfire. And we had to take that risk. That is where I love the influence of the captain on the day, Thomas Partey. Anybody who made the mistake, he encouraged the person. Let's keep going. It will get better. Come on, give me to me. Pass, receive. That again exposed Salis in midfield. Because there were moments in that game, you see Partey drawing just to take the ball off him to pass it forward. Whilst if he can do that simple forward passing job, it makes the team even more better. And let me highlight the importance of Jordan Ayew. I have said this. I will continue to say it. And I'm happy, at least for once, Otuado has listened. I'm sure he watches this program. He listens to
Actually, to do.
other platforms that I have gone to. Play him as a number 9. If you think he cannot play there, sit him down. Simple instruction. To the young man himself, the time has come. I was watching the game when the commentator said that he's the oldest player in the team. I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Right
at
now.
the moment.
But the
Which
players
is-
we assembled,
Which is
that
very
day,
surprising.
which is
More,
very,
im-
very
more
surprising.
importantly, he's the most experienced. in the
That's
team.
right. He's the
played-
oldest player in the team.
He's played in the team for
He's
15 years.
He's the most experienced. So who should go and take up the goal scoring responsibility? Me? Or who? Kudus? Or who? Semenyo. It's Jordan Ayew's job. And I'm happy
Which he hasn't shied away from, to be fair. He's Ghana's top scorer this year. Even before the hat-trick, he was Ghana's top scorer.
Forget about that. We know where he's been playing. Play him as a number 9. And you see the confidence. Look, you see the confidence. You take it or leave it. When you put him closer to goal, defenders will fear him. His best ever tournament for the Black Stars was when he played as a number 9.
At AFCON 2019.
AFCON 2019. In 4 games, he scored what? 3 goals. Stand to be corrected. And they were proper
Center forward.
center forward goal. I remember the 2-2 against is it
Benin.
Benin?
Benin.
Then
The
0-0
goal
against
against
Cameroon.
Guinea
Then he scored-
Bissau, that lovely Ben
Yeah. I
Yes.
think that pass came from
Barbara
Yeah.
man. So
off
that
the shoulder.
then bam, that should have been an indication.
Yeah.
But I just don't know why he's been running away from that responsibility. That's where I have seen it. I've always seen that he doesn't want to be highlighted as a number 9 and not scoring goals. If there's any player in this team capable of handling any form of backlash, it should be Jordan Ayew.
It's him. He doesn't really care.
This team has gotten to the stage where, whether he likes it or not, he's the main, in addition to the Thomas Partey. These two are, in the absence of his brother, it's Partey and him. They are the captain of the team. So it was a great result. It doesn't matter how we won, because our visa is on this.
You want
me.
visa to go where?
I can go to America without the Black Stars qualify, and you know that.
Yeah, you just said our visa is
When
on
I
this.
say
And
our
I
visa, I know of people whose visa to America and Canada depends on the Black Stars winning.
because it's guaranteed
Whether
that.
the Black Stars qualify to the World Cup or not, I will be in America to watch the tournament.
That's why you don't want them to qualify.
No, don't
Or
say-
that's why you think they won't qualify.
No, I didn't say I don't want them to qualify.
No, you said they won't qualify.
You see, thank you. My position on certain things will not change. And you know me.
So he has said this. Why you?
You understand?
I've
No,
not said your
but
position. I'm just re-echoing your
Yeah.
position.
Listen.
But you think they won't qualify. So
You
the people
are
whose
the-
visa
you see-
depend on this, you forget it.
You see,
That's what you are saying.
you anytime I try to critique the two of you, it's context. Out of context. You are the only people who speak in context.
Coach,
Out of
you
context.
sent him a message.
Listen,
You sent him a message.
so that message is in context.
Okay.
Okay.
What are
Okay.
you talking about?
Coach, it's okay. It's okay.
So
Yes.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Number 9.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Jordan. Dan. Oh, no more Jordan. Look, Jordan. No. Jordan.
Jordan.
I don't know any Jordan who is sharp before. Every
Jordan.
Jordan is a legend.
Look, Michael Jordan.
Just Michael Jordan.
Then the other
Danny Jordan.
Danny Jordan.
Jordan.
Then Jordan are you? Jordan.
That's right.
Oh, Jordan. Whoever the way. No.
Jordan Anagla.
Yes, that's my boss.
That's right.
What?
Look, at the 20 World Cup
May
winner.
his soul rest in perfect
Amen.
peace.
Amen.
Jordan.
Anagla. What? Jordan.
Another Jordan.
Jordan. So, look, it was a good win. And let's hope that by the time the team returns for the World Cup qualifiers in March, the AFCON qualifiers will make them even better.
Fair enough. And to just to add to the point you made about Jordan playing as a striker, he has said, especially after this game,
Yes.
that he had been played out of position both at club and at the country level. So, only to like you were trying to say, I think you made a slight point about maybe him not wanting to play there because he doesn't want to be.
He wants to play.
He
there.
wants to play
Look,
there because he said that he doesn't want to be
You and I know.
told that he's the striker,
No,
but he's
no,
not scoring.
no,
But
you
he
and
has
I
said
know.
that he wants
he
to
didn't
play.
say that. He said Jordan is the one person who's best placed to take that criticism.
Listen, you and I know.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to play there, he would have played there a long time.
I think he wants to.
He actually.
I think it's just.
Oh,
It's just
Maze.
no, I think it's just coaches who.
Yeah.
Look,
Danike.
who do they play there?
It's not wherever Jordan has
The
been,
man has been.
there's
Look,
been better goal scorers.
if you say,
That's not true.
That's
look,
the
if you
problem.
say,
No, but that's
at club level,
That's
different
not
from-
true.
No, also
Fentio.
no.
That's not true.
Fentio.
We
Yes.
know why he
Fentio.
was sent to the wings at Crystal Palace.
Fentio.
We know why that happened.
At club level, I can accept that.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, the powers that be, if Jordan indeed wanted to play as a number 9 for the Black Stars, the moment the baby jet exited,
No.
that was who was better
But
suited
to be
play
fair,
there?
like you said, when Baby Jet exited,
That was
Jordan
his position.
played there.
They did well and then
He
they pushed
did
him
well
back
and
to
they
wide
pushed
No,
him
but
right.
who pushed him there?
Because Apia played him as a 9.
No.
When
Fence.
Kosi appeared,
After that tournament.
CK played him as a
Fence.
wide man.
You know,
Milo
no,
played
no.
him as a wide
Let's
man.
not
who
rewrite
were those
history.
playing
After
there?
that tournament, after the 2019, he had a period of about 2 years where he wasn't scoring the Black Stars.
Because he was not being played as a number
wide.
9.
No. It was the beginning
Jordan
of
has
that
only
drought.
played as a centre
It was the
for
beginning of-
2019.
Okay.
It was the
After that,
beginning
he was
of that
playing out
drought
wide.
that
Right.
got the coaches to push
Fair
him out
enough.
That
wide.
drought didn't
Danike,
come when he was playing as a number 9.
Danike,
That thing
Coach has said-
we need to
yes.
put it in context. That drought didn't when Jordan wasn't scoring. In fact, Jordan
Okay.
after
But-
2017 he was playing as a wide man. 2015 wide man. 2019 when Baby Jet was in the squad was on the bench.
Yes.
That's where
Remember?
he played there.
Then he played as a number 9. Straight after that, when Kosi had lost his job in December, Jordan was pushed back to the wings.
And
by
who went to
CK.
play as a number 9?
See, they were
Zuku
players.
Zuku
They
players.
were
So that's what I'm
parading
saying.
all
That
sort of-
knowing Jordan, knowing his brother, the power they've got in that Black Stars team, I'm saying if you wanted to play as a number 9, but now it is clear.
Danike, let's
I'm
look at
coming,
this
let me
team.
land.
Oh.
Now it is clear. It is
He's
what?
spoken for about 30
Clear. Now it is what?
Clear.
Now it is what?
Clear.
Apart from Jordan, there's no number 9 in the Black Stars. Semenyo me fe ame pasashin. Repeat after me.
pasashin.
Ame pasashin.
Ame Basashi.
There be no back.
Ahmed Pasashin.
Pasashin. Meaning,
Ame Basashi.
meaning they should go on the flanks. Mundada ho.
Oh, Ame
Ame
Basashi.
pasashin.
Ah, that's right.
Pasashin.
Koni Jordan.
They
and
leave
lead
Jordan.
attack.
So that when the ball comes,
Oh, yeah.
he go chesting me what in Ghana.
Eba gbeke wo chichi.
That's right.
Chichi. Eba gbeke for chichi.
Kubodo.
Oh, no mo ke do me.
Jordan.
Chale.
Danike, 2 wins, 2 games. It doesn't matter what Nimili says about
You
the
see,
performance.
let the man continue. What does that
Hold on. Put it into context
Proper
for me.
context.
Hey, coach.
Now he's choosing your words for you.
So coach has been he's justified. Like coach, it's okay.
in the proper context.
Okay, let's put this into context.
Yes.
Fent and coach is right. Look, there are still problems. And
People didn't like the end.
I
of
don't
the
think
game
I
in
don't
particular.
think I don't think coach expected to watch this game without seeing some glaring
No,
problems.
that's all.
It's
course.
normal. Otuado inherited probably the worst ever Black Stars team in recent history. We've not seen these past 4 years has been deadly bad. It's been terrible. So we know that it's going to take time. And I mentioned it in previous episodes. It's going to take time for him to fix the problems. But I prefer Otuado fixes the problems whilst getting results than not getting the results and trying to fix the problems. And you see, I like to look at the positives. A couple of months ago, over the past 3-4 years, we've complained about the lack of creativity in this Black Stars team. We struggle to create chances. We don't score goals. But in the 2 games against Mali and Central African Republic, the Black Stars created some really good opportunities.
They did.
Scored 6 goals in 2 games. That's an average of 3 a game. So at least in the attacking phase. And the funny thing is that those sequences were not sustained throughout the game. The first half, we were a bit still going up front.
Yeah.
Second half, with a change of formation, it was chance after chance after chance after chance. So For me, that is a positive. And that shows me that, yes, same players, coach has come in. He's able to build this attacking system that will yield results in terms of creating chances and scoring goals. Again, we also spoke about the lack of character in this team.
Yeah.
And we saw it from the World Cup to the African. In fact, the last 2 AFCONs and then the World Cup. In fact, the last 3 major competitions. We saw this team struggle. Almost like once the Black Stars conceded a goal first, that was it. In these 2 games, we have gone into halftime down. And we've come back in the second half and we turned the game around. So
That is rare.
that is very rare. Back-to-back games, we've got back. This is the first time since 2021 that we've won back-to-back competitive games. And in doing that, we went into halftime down. We were at the stadium. The guys were booed off the pitch. Typical 2024, like recent modern day Black Stars, they would have come into that second half frozen. They wouldn't have been able to handle it. But their performance gave the fans a reason to back them. The first 5-10 minutes in that second half gave the fans a reason to back them because something had changed. The attitude had changed. The game style, everything had changed. You could tell that these guys wanted to win the game. They were pushing and forcing the issue. And for me, these are some of the things that excite me. Obviously, say it again, their problems will still be there. It's been how many months? He took over in March. It's been 3-4 months.
Yeah.
4 games that he's played, 2 competitive games. So there are obviously going to be problems. But the problems that we've seen in the last
2-3
international
years,
yes, they are less. Is becoming lesser.
Okay.
In on the evidence of what we saw in these past 2 games. So for me, I'm happy. Now let's talk about the game itself. Look, the first half obviously wasn't the best. But I felt like the first half, the players were set up by the system. And in fact, everything that coach has said in analyzing the first half sort of proves what I'm seeing. I think individual performances were affected by the setup, the shape and the setup in the first half.
Yeah.
Look, our players were too wide apart from each other. They were not close enough to each other. And that meant that, you see, when you are playing against a team that is deadly in transition,
Very compact.
very compact. Look, your pressing game, especially counter-pressing game, is very key.
Yeah.
Because once you give them that time on the ball to pick the pass, everything else you do is reactionary.
Yep.
And now you are hoping that this person gets in closer to the striker in time. It is all hoping and praying. And modern day football, you don't rely on hoping and praying. So I'm not part of those who blame Kudus or certain individual performances in that first. In fact, look at the first goal that we conceded. Kudus lost the ball in the final third. One pass and did our defense. I'm not going to blame the
And to
attacking
be fair,
player.
it was a fantastic pass
And you see,
from
even take
Kondogbia.
the
It was
pass
world
away.
class.
You see, for me, if you look at when Kudus touched the ball with his right foot and tried to push it past the defender, look, it was one of those 50-50 balls. Had Kudus successfully gotten in front of the defender, Kamaldeen was pulling the left-sided centre back away, and it would have been a one-on-one, which everybody would have fancied Kudus to go one-on-one with that defender and take him on.
So it was a risk.
It was a risk that, for me, I would encourage my attacking player to take.
Of course.
It was a zone. Look, the attacking is a final third. You expect your attacking players to take responsibility when it gets to that stage. So I'm not going to pin it down on why didn't he. That pass out wide to Kamaldeen would probably have allowed Central African Republic players to retreat. But if Kudus successfully goes past that man, who was basically on his side, and it's a 50-50 ball. If that Central African Republic defender's tackle doesn't touch the ball and Kudus is successfully able to get past him, that is danger for Central African Republic. So it's a 50-50 situation. And if my attacking player loses the ball in the final third and one pass and that's my team, for me, I'm the coach, I'm taking the blame. I'm not going to blame Kudus for that. It's a very cheap excuse to blame an attacking player losing the ball in the final third for a goal that is scored.
Because there's a lot happening behind
A
you.
lot happening behind him. So for me, look, Kudus is not the only one who was frustrated in that first half. Kamaldeen was. Ishaku didn't have a good game. Jordan Ayew didn't have a good first half. On the ball, yes. When the ball came to him, he did his part. But in terms of
Being a threat.
and the
For him to have been a
influence,
threat. Jordan, for him to have been the
somebody needed to be closer.
depended on the team
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah.
So people needed to be closer to him. Jordan received the ball, he's holding, turning,
And
nobody's
there's nobody.
coming. He holds foul. then a possibly dangerous moment for Ghana just turns out to be
A
a
normal.
normal game situation.
A
So
rather underwhelming outcome.
So you see, I will blame the system in that first half, not individual players. In the second half, when Otuado did what he needed to do, and it was just not about the switching of the players. Ati Zigi's starting position backed up the high line that we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
Ati Zigi was almost playing on the edge of the D.
Yeah.
In fact, in front.
In the arc.
So those situations that coach talked about, where Central African Republic picked up the ball and hit a long ball, the
They were
positioning,
curtailed.
positioning he was talking about in terms of Jiku and Salisu, they had taken up those situations. So Jiku was a bit closer to his goalkeeper, could see the ball, shadow the defender. Atisigi comes out, cleans up the danger, we move again. That was what we should have done in the first half. Not a goalkeeper sitting deep in a defensive line very high and a non-existent press. Now in the second half, the attacking four in Jordan, Kudus, Isahaku, Kamaldeen, the press was brilliant. It's the most well-coordinated
Especially
Black Stars press
press.
I've seen.
That's what Coach
I've
just
look,
said. It was impressive
It
to
was
watch.
so impressive to watch. So much so that Salis and Partey didn't really have a lot to do.
Yeah.
They were literally picking up loose ball and restarting attacks from the midfield. You usually see that happening from the defenders, as in defenders recycling attacks. This time, we win the ball high up. Kudus wins it, gives it to Partey, we start again. Partey out wide, we go. It was literally like bam, 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 jen, like we are coming at you. And that intensity was really, really a
That's what
brilliant
paid
side
off.
to view. It paid off. You see, so when I look at the individual responsibility that players took in that second half, and you see, you need to set up your team up in a way that will bring the best out of your players.
Course.
And once Otto had laid that ground for them, the players took advantage of
Yeah.
it. Now, I want to talk about individual performances. Take the goals away. And this might surprise you, but I think Kudus was by far, not even close, by far the best player in that second half. Yeah, Jordan scored.
Yeah, he was.
But look,
Kudus was fantastic.
the first goal,
In that second half,
the
yeah.
first goal.
Yeah.
And you see, this is what I always say, that don't always judge a player's performance on the ball. The player spends most of the time off the ball.
Off the ball, obviously.
The on the ball thing, no, yeah, it's a bonus. But what they are doing off the ball, especially in modern day football, is equally or even much more important than what
Yeah.
they do on the
And then
ball.
again, just to help, that is what we've been calling for, isn't it? We've been calling for him to be even more influential when
He
not
doesn't
on
have the ball.
Yes,
Yes.
because it is when he does that is when he now
Yes.
begins to influence the
And
game.
now
So,
that he's doing it, people need to open their eyes.
as to see,
To see.
and
As
highlight
well,
that.
yeah.
You see, I put out the tweet and said, for me, that is the best most complete best Mohamed
In
Kudus
that 30
performance
minutes,
I've seen.
in the
That
second
second half that I've seen in a Black Star shirt. It's not about the dribbling and the
No, no,
goals
no,
and the
no,
things.
sir.
Look, take a look at the first goal. Kudus took the ball, gave it to Gideon Mensah, and took a sharp darting run straight into the box.
That's right.
As at the time Gideon Mensah picked the ball, Jordan Ayew was being marked.
Yeah.
When Kudus made that run in,
The defender,
the defender moved towards
Of
Kudus,
course.
and that made Jordan
and
free.
that freed up
because
Jordan.
you see, tactically, you don't blame them because Kudus was much more closer to goal.
Closer
now.
to goal.
And he could see
See,
He
he
Kudus
attacked
coming.
the
coming.
space.
He could see Kudus coming.
He could see him, so he had to make that reaction. And Jordan Ayew was left free at the back post. That is 2-2. 3-2 is Isahaku's goal.
Oh, yeah.
When the loose ball there was a ball that was hitting. I think it was Partey who hit the ball inside. It was cleared and the ball is in the air. Now this is when you need to value the strengths of a player. You people talking about he holds the ball too much. It is a player recognizing his strength and using it where it will benefit the team.
Yes.
You know what Kudus did? He waited for the ball, looked at the defender,
Blocked him off.
blocked him off, shielded the ball. The ball landed to his left foot, and he was just like playing with the ball. Attracted two defenders. As soon as the two came,
But they were
he
three.
released it. Yes,
The
Yeah.
pass
as in
went.
one was he had pinned one back, and
then
two came.
more.
As soon as the two came, he placed it to Salis. Salis placed it back to Jordan. Jordan into the space that the defender
Vacated
vacated.
it.
Partey leaves it. Isahaku has scored. That is brilliance and awareness for Mohamed Kudus. Because see, he saw that guy coming home. He wanted to attract the guy
Yeah,
to
it was
free up that
intentional.
space.
It was
Very
not
intentional.
accidental.
Now, the Jordan's hat-trick goal.
The scramble.
When Alidu makes that run, and you see that goal, Charlie, Otuado is doing something. because I don't remember the last time Alidu took
Bomb forward like that.
bomb forward, didn't stop running.
Can I help
See,
you with that?
at that moment, then,
Can I help you with that?
Go ahead.
Okay, you go.
No, you say what you want.
I was going to say that one other thing I noticed in the second half was what Daniel is talking about. How high up our fullback pushed. And the reason I saw that happen was that you noticed Salis retreated to join the centre back, so a back three. A lot, and it happened a lot. So it
all
allowed
those
the
things-
fullbacks to go, and that's back to
All those
Otoado.
things-
Credit to
all those
Otoado.
things were made possible because the three guys that were behind Jordan had all been told to counter press.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you counter press, we push high, our fullbacks push, and then Partey just sat behind them, receiving the loose ball, picking the loose ball, and then recycling the ball.
And you notice that one of the things that the Salis withdrawal to join the centre backs did was that it fixed that hole that you were talking about that existed between the two centre backs in the first half.
It had somebody.
Exactly. So there was even more
So
compatibility.
when the long ball came,
when
they could deal
there was
with
even more compatibility in the back. That gave the fullbacks the freedom, and two of them created 2 goals.
So Alidu
One direct
moving-
assist, obviously,
Alidu
from
moving
Gideon.
into that, and you see, watch the sequence again. Kudus was initially making that ball into the 6-yard box to join Jordan. As soon as that ball was played into Alidu, Kudus cuts back. And you see, sometimes it's you see, you can create the scenario, but the intelligence of the players will make the
things happen.
The
things
movements
happen.
count, yeah.
As soon as that through ball was played, Kudus checks his run, receives it. That first touch to push it, like take it in a stride, and then go at the take that rifle shot. Goalkeeper spills it. Jordan taps it in. He was on hand for all the goals he scored in that
In the
second
second
half.
half, yeah.
But because it didn't go down as a direct assist or he didn't score himself, most people like is really going off
Including
the
the chance that Salisu
You see,
missed.
that's what
including the chance Salisu missed, which was a short free kick.
Salisu, hello. What about that chance? What is his name?
Kamal
Demon.
He also set.
He set him up, and that
everything-
it could have had a hat trick of
everything
assists.
offensive that happened in that second half was Mohamed.
The
Kudus.
Kamal Dean one, he literally laid it on a silver platter.
So you see, I was so impressed by his performance in that game, in the second half especially. And for me, I understand this. I said it after the Central African Republic game where Baba Rahman was good. You see, it's about the timing of the thing. And that's why sometimes I think that, especially us, like we in our position, when somebody is having a 6/10 game, the person can have a 3/10 moment, which can destroy
Yeah.
what he has
The
done before.
remaining 7 out of 10.
Fans are allowed to pick on that moment and dwell on it.
Yeah.
But we are not allowed to. We
In
should
this
throw,
game, after this
we
game,
should
did you
throw
see
more-
that a lot of journalists were participating in the
No, I saw a lot.
vile?
A lot.
It was shocking to me.
A lot.
Me,
A lot. And it's almost normal. And that's what me. I don't like that thing. There's a reason why we sit where we sit.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
a
a reason
privileged
why.
position.
Thank you. And there's a reason why people really hold our opinions in high esteem. Look, fans are allowed to. They can do what they want to do, but by virtue of where we sit, we can't say some loose things because see, somebody who can say Kudus no Jimmy, then the person will say but even friend self too said it.
Agrees.
Aye.
Because of what you've gone to see, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like it's valid.
If I'm going
Which
to
is
say
wrong.
Kudus is shit, it becomes validation. And that's why, in fact, that's why our tweets, our opinions, our Facebook posts, they are validating posts that people use. And that's why people take screenshots a lot.
Yeah.
When you tweet something, you notice that people whose phones don't have screenshots will come and be putting links there for them. People come and put the screenshots for them to go and download as an image.
Look.
It's because of what Daniel said. Our opinions are important. And for even for us, the more we grow, the more we learn about these things.
Yeah.
When
So-
you're younger and there's a rush of adrenaline,
It's
sometimes it's
understandable.
easy to sit down and insult or say certain things about players because, when you interact with the players, you understand that they have the very emotions that you have. You will be very circumspect about some of this. And that's why I support
Look, all in
any
all,
form of hate back.
look-
They have to have a taste of their own
Look,
medicine.
all in all,
Don't do that.
in conclusion, for me, the game, yes, and I'll say it again. There are problems, but I think we've taken some huge strides forward. And by virtue of what I saw in the offensive phase and player character and the improvements we've seen over the past few months, I will not put it past Otuado to fix some of these defensive issues by the next time that we play. Now, quickly on the Kudus thing, I don't agree. What he responded to was not abuse. Maybe he had seen some that were abusive and he didn't respond to. But what he
Maybe he didn't see those ones.
What he responded to was valid criticism. And look, we should not encourage players to do some of these things.
At all.
We should not. It is not in his best interest. You might do 2-0 and Kudus replied there. But what he's doing now, in the long run,
To come back to bite him.
his public image, the love that people have for him, it could easily affect him. And if Kudus is being affected by a minority of people who are criticizing him, when majority of people
In the grand scheme of affairs, don't even matter.
it doesn't even matter. Like, if this thing is affecting him, then I don't know. But look, I really think that he needs to be spoken. And I tweeted it, Boga, the things that Jordan and Baba Rahman and the Dedems have gone through, you don't see Jordan replying to. You know,
But you see,
the Nigeria game, when they booed Jordan off, do you know what he did? He clapped. He clapped.
We were
and
there.
They walked off. You were there.
clapped.
They booed him off. He clapped. He walked off. Next time he came, he showed up. He's going off. He clapped. It's not the same clapping he clapped that they gave him standing ovation.
you see,
When you are in that position, no, it's faint. When you are in that position, you need to understand that football fans are fickle. Nobody is going to be loyal to you. Nobody is going to be giving you fans when we are losing and they feel like you are being selfish. Nobody is going to do that. So understand it and move on. Let your football do the talking. And for me, the second half performance did the talking. I don't think that we would have been dwelling on this, whether Kudus played well or didn't play well, if he hadn't
not
replied.
Of course.
So it was unnecessary. Look, it's two different things. If somebody says Kudus, wait Jimmy, and he comes and he replies, I'll say yes, good job. That one you are
people
insulting
did
me.
say that though.
But he didn't reply to that
those
one.
people.
What he replied to was genuine criticism. So that one, me, I'll not back him for that. But if it is abuse and he can, that's a different thing. But Charlie,
Yeah.
where he sits, I don't think he should.
I mean, I was just making a general point about facing abuses, not necessarily that it should be replying to everybody. And he did face a lot of abuse. And I agree with you 100% about accepting genuine criticism. You can't respond to genuine criticism. The only best way to respond is to do it on the pitch as a footballer. But the ones that abuse the players, for me, if a player faces an abuser on Instagram, on Twitter, and responds to the abuser and takes them on, I am all for it. Daniel makes a point about the fact that the specific tweets that he responded to may not have looked like abuse. However, I saw a lot of abuse on the timeline, and maybe he didn't see because maybe those people didn't mention him specifically, or that he saw them and got frustrated and then later decided to just reply to whatever tweet that he saw.
Do you know
Either
what I
way.
normally do? You know what I know? When somebody who follows me pass a comment or abuse,
Insults you, yeah.
I just go and block the person. Take it out.
Yeah.
I will not respond because it is my response that may give it the necessary mileage.
True.
So
That's
I
what we
just
No,
I
it's
like
true.
block you and throw you
It's
away.
true. But I think it's a lesson. You know, people have emotions and these things happen. So bottom line is, let's be circumspect. In the era of no social media, Kudus is not the first Black Stars player to confront an abuser directly.
You can imagine if the game were being played in Accra
You know,
and we're
in the,
losing.
thank you. In the
Goodness
era
me.
of no social media,
Yeah,
we
me
had
no.
we
Oba
had
Nele,
Black Stars
Oba Fe
players.
woni bi.
Yes.
Kwa Kudus mu no to ah.
Yes.
Boy, boy,
Yes. Yes.
Ona.
We had Black Stars players confronting abusers in different forms.
Yeah.
Physical.
Physical.
We saw it.
Richard
It
Kingston.
was condemned.
Richard Kingston.
Richard Kingston
And they are
left.
cross
He
posted.
was training.
Yes.
Okay, during training, they insulted him. He abandoned training to go and confront his abuser in the stands. Asamoah Gyan at Linda Door, he confronted an abuser. Did he slap the abuser?
Yeah, he did.
Or what was it that happened?
I think there was
at
a
Linda
physical
Door?
exchange.
His brother confronted. That one guy wasn't even abused. The guy went to ask some question that they felt wasn't a comfortable question.
Daniel, It was a graphic reporter.
Yes,
Baba Yara.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, so he went to ask a question. The question was a fair question. Any journalist would ask the question. He just didn't like the fact that he asked the question. He went to slap him. Sule Muntari. So listen, people have emotions and people are built differently. And I agree with Daniel on the fact that as for the criticism, when it's valid, it's valid. The abuse is what I don't like. And for me, I'm all for them confronting their abusers. And I do it myself on the timeline every now and then. I'll go and give somebody who's with Jimiana. Because some people need to be told when they are jimmying about. You understand me? But yeah, having said that, Kudus, if you respond, it becomes news. We'll do artwork and we'll share. So, calm down. Actually, he wasn't the only one that was singled out for abuse. And that's what I wanted to get to. Another player that faced massive criticism in this game was Atizigi. And Daniel is spot on when he says people are fickle. Because it's like they suddenly have forgotten that.
No. But
against Mali in that first half, if it wasn't for him.
Which goal were they blaming him for?
Have you been on Twitter?
I've seen, but I didn't look.
You literally just said a few minutes ago that you can't save 1v1. You got 3 1v1. They all ended at the back of the net.
If a goalkeeper is unable to save 1v1, you don't blame him for that.
They say Isha.
No, but
1-on-1.
1-on-1.
1-on-1 is like a penalty.
It's like a penalty.
The striker is in control of.
I'm not. That's not my opinion. I'm saying that. That's not my opinion.
Look, I remember there was a radio station that called me, and they wanted me to comment on the matter. And I told them that for all those who are saying that Ati were to be blamed for any of the goals that the Black Stars conceded, they don't understand football. They don't know how.
But you saw the
football
comments, right?
I saw. So I said, the first goal, were they expecting him to save the ball? If he had saved the ball, hooray. The man had gone ahead of the 2 defenders, had controlled the ball 1-2. He had not even entered the box at the time.
He hit it early.
And he hit it early. In fact, if you look at the way he hit the ball, the only part of Ati's body that could have made the save was his leg.
That's his leg, yeah.
And once he did that and he didn't get rid of it, who would blame a goalkeeper for not saving 1v1? We rather tend to clap for goalkeepers when they manage to save a 1v1 situation. That second goal, if you look at the routine again, when Alidu pushed the guy into Salis and then another person came from behind, just
it was
took the
Gideon
ball.
Mensah.
You understand? Gideon did so well at the beginning because he blocked the angle so that the pass wouldn't go.
The ball just took an awkward bounce.
Yes, what Gideon didn't, but if you look at the ball, it was the pitch.
It took an awkward bounce because once Gideon blocked off the space,
So
he had control of it.
He had control.
Before he could react,
The ball had bounced, so it was the pitch. So the moment,
And then the free kick.
if you're a goalkeeper, you will wait to see whether Gideon would deal with the situation or not. So if you were, the moment Gideon couldn't deal with the situation because of the pitch, that was when Ati came. The guy toe poked too. He toe poked the ball. How do you blame him for that? And then on that free kick, you better clap for the taker of the free kick. Ati makes that save. He's in the hospital for the next 3 months. Why? Because you could clearly see that. It was by the pole.
It was an excellent
And there was
free kick.
power inside.
There was power. He even had his hand on it. And if you look at the manner he died, you could see him upon diving, dodging the framework so that his shoulder doesn't bump into that. And then you blame him for that.
Yeah.
Like we are saying, most people are aware.
To borrow Daniel's word, again, fickle. Ayew, you've been listening very keenly. Where do you want to hammer on? What do you want to highlight?
quite a bit. And I want to start from the Kumasi people.
Okay.
They are different people.
Very different.
They're like, look, they are different.
You mean the
people.
fans, right?
No, the entire the Ashanti
entire
region.
city.
The Ashanti region.
Okay.
The people of they are different people. When you talk about nationalistic sentiments, the sense of ownership of a state, they personify it. And you see, they are the reason the Ashanti Kingdom thrives. Because they respect its authority, they worship it, and they do everything to protect it. It is the same attitude they transfer to the Black Stars. That's why when you're in Kumasi and you don't even have money to go and watch the Black Stars, somebody will pay for you to go and watch.
Factos.
Monday, we had tens of thousands of people who didn't have money. look, for everyone watching, a lot of the people inside the stadium didn't pay for the tickets themselves. But you have benevolent people, you have affluent people who have decided that every time there is a big national assignment, they will take it upon themselves and lay the ground for the state by ensuring that people who have interest in going to watch the match but do not have money, they will pay for them to go and watch. And that is something that I think as a country, we need to appreciate them. When we were in town, was it Sunday after lunch? Then we go with that. No, Sunday evening, when we left the post-match, then when Daniel and I were going to the hotel, then we go with that. Dr. Kwame Chey said
He's about 5,000.
5,000.
And then 4 buses.
5,000
That
tickets.
news came in the morning
Yeah.
of Saturday when I was on Sumpa with Jamal. Is it Jamal?
Jamal.
Jamal.
Yes, Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal and then Ortega.
Yeah.
And then there's this other man whose nickname is Sikawo Bush. The 3 of them, they
also-
broke the news that
This is one person. Beyond buying the ticket, he provided the means of getting to the stadium as well.
4 big
Buses.
VIP buses.
Where were they coming from?
No, he said
had
they just
positioned them at
invented
advantage
points.
points.
So based
They
on
just
the
going
city.
and coming.
yes,
Yeah.
so based on where the request would come from,
Then they
the
go.
more they would allocate more buses to that side, and they would go different trips, bus them to the stadium, go back and carry. Only that you need to get to the stadium early, so you need to get ready early so that the bus will come and pick you. We're told that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also purchased an unspecified number. Then I think the ministry also gave away some free tickets. But the heart of this is the attitude. Look,
Jamal also gave me 10
10 tickets.
and I gave it out.
If this match had been in Accra, I'm telling you, you won't get that. Accra rich men, they prefer to spend their money on baby girls, buy cars for young girls.
Allegation.
Man,
Two-
you know what? In
two-
fact,
Allegation.
But that is what they do. Watch and learn from
Allegation.
your brothers in Kumasi. They show big boy level. And you see,
Morgan, go and make your money.
no, we need to appreciate them properly because look, friends,
No, Hala, you can appreciate them without chiding
But we can
another
say
group.
Wait. But is it by force for
But
me
we
to give
can
it to
say
boys to
them.
go and watch more?
we can say this.
It be my money.
You are praising the people, praise their people. You have to
Nah,
drag your people
Me,
inside.
I'm praising the
fact of
people.
matter,
I'm-
what he's saying is
It's true. You know
What
it's
he's
true.
talking about. It's true. There you-
Accra rich men, they
It's true.
they are part of the reason cost of living is high.
Yeah, too much.
It's
First,
true.
in the past, landlords knew that they only had to rent their houses to fresh graduates from the university who
Yes.
weren't working. These days, they know the sugar daddies will pay. Even if they say chamber and hall 1,500,
They'll pay.
fresh graduates will find the money and pay because there is some unseen
What
sponsor.
do you mean 1,005? Where do you live? Chimber and Horse 1,005.
Thank you. So it's even more expensive.
3,005.
It's even more expensive. Some unseen hands will pay. I'm just saying that some people have made a habit. Every time there's a big national team match in Kumasi, they will not only provide a ticket, they'll provide the means for you to go to the stadium and watch. And for me, it's excellent. Beyond that benevolence, it's the attitude of the people inside the stadium. And look, often when we say that the soul of the national team is its fans, Monday, the fans showed us why. Daniel spoke about how the players were booed off the pitch when they were
When
leaving.
they came back,
When they came back,
You
before
don't
the
know.
match started,
Charlie, you don't know
they
that
started
the
applauding.
same people who were booing them. Oh. There was a
Only
standing
15
ovation. Bro,
No,
there was a standing
before the-
ovation
before
when the
the
boys
second
came
half
out of the
started,
tunnel.
Before the and you see, there had been no
You see,
announcement in any PA system.
Actually, do you now see why? When people take our national team and they don't do well and we talk, it's supposed to show us good respect.
Oh yeah, and you see, for
you see, look,
It's not about slogans and
no.
hashtags.
That
And you
is
see,
why
for
some
the-
of us
me, I was happy the players
get
experienced
very
that
offended.
because inside the stadium there was no PA announcements, there was no announcements.
No.
Nobody told the fans
No
to
coordination.
get behind the team. No, it
It's a
wasn't coordinated.
natural thing.
It was organic.
In fact, actually, so when they came out initially, you see, they were booed into the.
Yeah.
Into the-
When they came out, like normal, like they just came out almost Nicodemously. When the fans started applauding, then party turns and is
acknowledges
clapping
it.
before the rest of the players are also acknowledging. They didn't expect it, but it was like a signal. Right now, you can't go and feel.
You can't go and feel. And you see, for me, it showed me one thing, and it should show the players one thing. The fans don't hate you. It's not personal. They have nothing against.
Look, win and take the
That's it.
$100,000.
See,
Finish.
the thing about the fans
What's
is
the
that,
problem?
There's no $100,000 at
Oh,
stake.
and when we went to the World Cup, how much did they take?
I beg, let's stay on
The
course.
point I'm making is that No, I'm battering what you are making. When they give us a victory,
let's not digress
do we-
into those.
No, I'm not digressing.
See, for me,
Hey, Atu, wait.
What's important?
Atu, wait.
Oh,
Tell Atu to wait.
you spoke for about 30 minutes. Now, you spoke for about 30 minutes uninterrupted.
If you don't wait, we will not proceed.
Why he's taking the thing? No, I don't like it.
Atu, don't you see?
Because why you want to take the
No,
thing?
let him explain himself.
That is why
No,
we
he has
don't.
to explain
That is
himself.
why
He has explained himself.
some of these things
Eh,
don't dodge you. That is why we struggle as a country. When you go outside, these things are common things. What I'm saying is this: you win for us,
Mhm.
and we are happy. Do you think we go and think about how much
Oh,
money
no.
you make?
No.
Nobody cares. Where have they not been giving money? They've been giving
Yeah.
good money for the two victories.
Nobody has even
Nobody
raised
has even mentioned.
the
So
issue
that's
of
the
bonus.
point I'm making.
And that's a
No, it's
very,
a fair point.
yeah.
Go on,
And
Atu.
I'm hoping that in addition to what I've said, the players also pay attention to what Nimley has just said. The conversations about money only arises
Comes
when there
in.
are questions about
Your
value
performance.
for
Your
money
commitment.
and your
Yes.
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah, yeah,
Look,
that's
The fans
exactly.
simply wanted to say that when you are poor, we'll boo you. When we realize that you need us,
Who
We'll be there
support?
for
we
you.
won't even wait for you to excel. Oh, because the second a ball had not even been kicked, I think it was Jordan and Partey
Partey who came here.
who came out first. The fans started applauding. Then Partey and there was something, before I finish on this, there was something Jordan did that for me. It was, look, there are certain things you can't teach. It will come
In
to
fact,
you
we-
with time.
We saw that
When Jordan scored that leveler,
Yeah.
many a player would have run to take the ball, go back to the center line to restart the game. And that could have killed any celebratory vibe and the energy that was building up inside the stadium.
Mhm.
But what did Jordan do? He ran straight to the fans to go and celebrate. And in that moment, it didn't occur to any of us that we needed to.
Yeah.
What was important then was the momentum and then whipping up the decibel levels inside the stadium. And for me, it was a master stroke. After the match, someone drew my attention to it and said, if Jordan takes the ball straight to the center and we restart the ball, the stadium quietens again.
Yeah.
And those are things nobody will teach you.
Yeah.
Those are things maturity and experience will build up for you. And for me, look, the fans, the people of Kumasi, they won us this game. They made it possible. They created the platform for the team to do as well as they did. For Tuado, I thought everything that happened the first half was his fault. The spacing between Thomas Partey and then Salis, for me, was the problem in the first half. It was not because Salis was not doing his job. Whenever, and this question, I asked him in the post-match, and he said that the instructions he gave the team and the specific job detailing were too complex. And he
Yeah.
used the word complicated. He used the word complicated for the players to grasp after only 5 training sessions. But I thought simple fixes and the issue of counter-pressing would have resolved that, because right from the top, in the final third of the pitch, the guys who started off the attack for Central African Republic had too much time on the ball. And it looked like every time Kondogbia had the ball, no one read the danger. So he had time, weren't counter-pressing, he had the liberty. I didn't know that boy was a football nerd. From afar, the impression everyone gets is that he's unassuming, he's not serious enough about football. But Danny and I were on the flight back with him, and he and Mafuta were discussing the game. I didn't understand French, but everything they were talking about position and spacing and the words that, and the names that will come up will just give you the idea that, because he won't talk about Kudus antics in the choba. He won't talk about Partey, but the mention of those players just gave you the idea that
They were talking about the
the game.
No, it was his. It wasn't Mafuta. It was his central midfield partner. I forgot his name.
And then they were discussing the
Oh
game.
God, Ayew.
And for me, it was enlightening. What?
You can't just.
He said, you know the bad French, but we had Partey and so,
But otherwise, I would have told you what exactly they were discussing.
You don't understand French, but he could tell everything they were talking about.
What's about the game?
I think you had Partey toujours là c'est prêt.
Partey, passé, Jordan.
I can't just let this slip like that. You see, you don't understand French, but you hear Partey, you hear Salis. You
I
don't
knew
say,
that.
no,
They are
this is
talking
the
about the
game,
game.
the tactics that they talk
no,
about.
but
You know that.
I heard Partey,
This is
passé,
the
Jordan.
bomb yesterday.
Oh no, baby, true. They discussed the thing. They discussed the thing.
Pate frequent pasele.
Yeah.
Kudus.
Yeah, Priwa.
Thank you.
Priwa.
Wait, what did you say?
Pate frequent pasele transition.
Jordan.
Luce Pole. Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
But see, it was painful because I was looking at the guy's face. He had the same confusion as me.
You wish you could actually understand.
Oh, my mind wasn't there. I was just looking at the frame.
The frame.
Bro, I dare you right now. I'll give you 100 cities if you can repeat exactly what you just said.
No, but it's French word.
Just if you can repeat exactly what you just said.
Pate toujours la CP. Jordan Pasele Kudus.
Allez.
Toujours la
La CP
Passable.
Transitional. Lode Jordan.
Jordan. See, that's a French accent right there.
Jordan.
That's a French accent.
Boy.
Coach, what is player in French?
Oh, what is this? Continue with this.
Anyway, so for me, I
Toujours la
thought
CP.
they had too much time on the ball. And I think the spacing in the first half, if you were inside the stadium, every time an incident happened off the ball, you would see Salisu and Salis complaining to Partey about the space, the distance between him, the midfield, his midfield partner, and the rest of the defense.
So there's a lot of Kumasi.
But on not one occasion did I see Otuado instruct Partey to move back or even shout at him, which gave me the impression that it was a clear tactical instruction from Otuado that the spacing had to be that way for when the team was attacking. If Partey drops a bit deeper, or if the back line and Salis pushes a bit further up and close down that space, and you have your players going man to man, you have the players also counter pressing, it deals with a lot of the problems because one, Pirou and then Kondogbia don't have, and all of the problems we had came from the center of the pitch. Every time they had the ball, they push it and then they go out. So for me, I thought a simple tactical instruction of push up further up the pitch or Partey gets a bit closer. But that would also mean synchronized movements from all of the other positions so that the spacing between the players is enough so that you don't lose your shape. It would have worked a treat for us in that first half. So I didn't understand why it took him so long, especially with the build-up issues we had when Salis dropped in between the two centre-backs. That's something very basic. But again, there was something that I said to people at halftime. Everything we saw on Monday, including the second half, all of the things that we saw that we didn't like are things that have characterized every Black Stars game in the last 6 years.
Every game.
Every
in the
Black
last 6 years.
In the last 6 years.
So
every
going
Black
back 2019,
Yeah.
2018 maybe.
the lack of intensity, the lack of balance, the lack of structure when out of possession, the lack of coordinated and repeated attacking patterns that we did not see, especially in the first half, is something that we've complained about. That's not something you can fix after 5 training sessions. And so we need to be realistic. Look, I'm sure a more experienced coach fixes some of the things Otuado fixed in the second half, but faster than Otuado did. Right? So he's a young manager trying to figure out the best way to get this team to play. But in a team with a rotten technical culture, a job that will be extremely difficult for even the best of coaches, because now they need to come in, before they even set a base, do some cleansing, get the players to rid of all the bad tactical habits like the inertia towards pressing when players lose the ball that Kamaldeen and Kudus had in that first half. You need to get to the point where
it was all
of
him.
them.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about the key moments that resulted. You don't need Partey and Jordan
No, you see
at each stage
but
to
you
be
see,
shouting.
No, actually,
Hold on.
that particular thing, from where I was sitting, I understood that where the ball had reached, it was a bit far from them. It was Jordan who recognized that if they don't make that effort, where we are now, once the ball bypasses us, we'll be in trouble.
You remember
And it comes with experience. Some of these things, you see,
You
the
remember I
younger
had
players,
said that.
the younger players will
You see,
see.
it came back to the point I
Yes,
made.
that's
in
why
our
I am
last
saying
episode.
that. That's why I'm saying that.
It came back to the point I made the last episode. I don't know of a system that will require or that would need a player to go and press or counter press, and the player will say,
That will see danger and ignore
so-
Yes.
because of
I don't know
instructions.
So some of those things are things that the average fan will think, but the player should be able to, but they don't.
Yeah.
It has to take the coach to drill it into them. And for me, I want to hammer on this 5-day training session thing that, look, everything that you want this team to play, it's too short a time span for them to be able to get through and go there and then even apply to even 70%. So it will take time.
Okay.
And that's why we need to be patient with the coach. We need to be patient with the team.
We
Look,
need.
I'm just going to end with this. I don't remember the last time the Black Stars showed the mentality that they have in the last week in consecutive games, that their heads did not drop. Look, every time the Black Stars have been booed, they've lost or drawn the game at the same Baba Yara Stadium. And if you look at the football Central African Republic played on Monday,
to be fair, our very last game there before that, we went behind against Central Africa.
Okay, then
we showed character. We came back.
Yeah.
We won. We qualified for
Yeah.
that.
and if you look at the football the Central
So
African Republic
that's-
played a year ago or 2 months ago, we lose that match. I guarantee you,
Yeah.
we lose that match
When you
against
say
them.
But
that,
again,
you're not
like
being fair.
But-
again, I just pointed out
When you say
it
that-
literally happened.
You see, when you say they're not being fair to Central African Republic.
No, I'm saying that
But
if
I
you look
wasn't
at
saying
as
that.
well as they did,
Yes,
right?
And to be fair,
in the past,
that
we
co-
don't get beyond that performance.
No, but you see, I think it has a lot.
No, you see,
Maybe-
look,
maybe-
the fact of the matter,
Maybe
you are
if
running
you-
away from the obvious.
If you let me finish,
You yourself, you
Friends,
admitted
if
that
you let me
they
finish, you'll
scored
Maybe
a clear
I
goal.
agree with what you're saying, but maybe I don't think it applies to the Babaya Stadium.
let me finish. I'm not
That's one area where
making an exclusive point about this
Yeah.
today. I'm just saying that the approach and the attitude that we showed when we went behind for me is something we haven't seen in a long time.
Factual.
People don't even remember the match you're talking about because the performance in that game was not great. Look, the football we played in that 30 minutes, it was bloody good. Like, it was as close
Like
to
you could
perfection.
smell the goal. You just knew the goal was
And
coming.
look,
oh yeah,
when Kudus made that switch to Gideon Mensah, everyone in the stadium just started getting up. And this was before Kudus, when he released the ball, everyone started getting up. This was before Kudus made the run into the box, because before that, there has been a sequence where every time we went forward, it looked like something good was about to happen. So now the expectation was that the next move can result into something because there is momentum, and we've been able to sustain it. In the past, we've not been able to do that. Now we have individual quality. Yes, mistakes will be made. But when I look through the squad, I can tell you that there is almost an answer to every profile problem that we'll talk about. Look,
But what
if
you are
Jordan-
not admitting is bad.
let me finish.
We listen to
if
pundits
friends,
elsewhere in the world.
when Jordan went
When
off,
their country conceded a clear goal, they admit that it was a
you
goal.
spoke about
You
it. Why do we need
admit
to
to
repeat
that.
it? I don't
You
need
didn't
to.
admit
Chris,
to that.
friends,
but they don't have to admit to what you
it's
said.
a bad way.
it
of
is
doing
not
it.
bad.
It's a very
Friends,
bad
you see,
way.
what you are doing, it sounds as if someone has to
Let him
validate
make
what
his
you are
point.
saying.
You made yours.
You made the
Everybody
point.
heard you.
We
So
heard
let
it.
him also go on.
In making the statement
You
that
see, we don't want to
the-
sound like a broken
the
record.
people scored a clear goal.
And
None
so,
of you here.
but you've mentioned it. No, you've mentioned it.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Actually,
Friends,
we all
please.
agree
The
that
point
you
did it.
didn't.
No, I agree.
Namely,
To get
What
the
I
the points that I
No,
have raised here.
eh,
The points that I've raised
This
here.
was going well until you.
No, I just want to help Achu.
No, I don't need your help. The points that I
Today
raised
you say
here.
you don't need
No,
my
I
help.
the
Today
points that
you
I've
say-
raised here. I've not required everyone to rehash.
No.
To rehash them.
Finish for me.
Look, for me, I was very happy with the debut of Brandon, because when he came on, it looks like he could make the ball stick. Beyond that, he could also run into channels. That was something that Semenyo was not doing for us, because whenever he had the ball, he either runs into traffic, or when it's a long ball, he gets into some unnecessary duel and gives away a foul. And it was one of the problems that we had, because when we needed an outlet after Jordan came off, we no longer had that. But it looks like Brandon was able to do that. I want to see him get more minutes and perhaps
With the more
a bit-
minutes there, you should
a
relax.
bit more service, and then see
Jordan,
what he
Jordan.
does.
Jordan.
Because going forward, we need solutions beyond Jordan. I liked Abdulmumin as well.
He's a proper
The
footballer.
two
He's a proper player.
The 2 games that he's given us have
What? At the moment.
the 2 games that he's given us have shown us that, look, the 2 center backs cannot be comfortable. The issue that happened in the first half, look, It was just a simple communication of Otuado telling the centre backs, Jiku, you drop deeper and then stay closer to Mafuta. And and this is where I think Otuado's assistants failed him.
Mudi assistants.
Because
don't bring this.
Mafuta came into this game on fire. He's got 15 goals in the just ended season.
In League 2.
In whatever tactical prep you have will accommodate the biggest threats of the opponents and the circumstances that they thrive in.
2 games against the Blaster, he scored 4 goals.
Yes.
Wait.
Even the goal that was
Otuado
disallowed,
said-
he scored it.
Otuado said it wasn't him.
It wasn't him,
It
man.
was Mankanga or something. Otuado said in the pre-match press conference that we know their strengths. Their defensive transitions are dangerous. So it's not the assistant briefed him. He didn't do a good job. No, it's true.
Yeah, but
It's true. He didn't go a good.
fair
you
enough.
can't
But the
blame-
way the team,
Charlie Laumann,
played,
if you see Laumann set up on the bench, Oga,
Champion coach.
make a show you.
fair
If you
enough.
see-
But the way the team played did not
Oga.
reflect.
Champion coach.
Laumann,
The team did not
Okay.
reflect an understanding of those threats.
Yes.
Right. And I think that going forward, beyond even what Otuado or the coaches would say,
Yeah.
they have to realize that themselves. It's the same when you're dealing with, one center forward.
Yes.
Simple communication.
He's using FIFA Plus to watch the game. This is normal practice now. The tablet that they watch on the
Where they
sideline.
do- they do it and-
Yes,
Let me see.
they draw for inside.
A simple communication
Actually-
of that should have taken care of it.
Okay.
But I think we're onto something special.
All right.
If you will be patient and
Okay.
allow this team to go through a cycle of I think that game was a watershed moment for us.
Yes.
Let's not throw it away because of the next bad performance.
Yeah.
I don't expect us to play that 30 minutes of the second half in our next game.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even expect us to play as well. What I want to see is progress.
Yeah.
Right? That we are beginning to fix some of the problems that we have identified. And people need to be open-minded and receptive to the possibility that we'll probably lose at some point. We'll probably have a bad performance at some point.
Yeah.
That should not become validation for all
we would
the
have
considered
suspicions. 2 clear goals if VAR was in operation.
Chris,
At that.
I don't care.
Coach, thank
You see, don't do that.
And
oh.
for me,
and you see,
yes.
Otto mentioned it. He asked us to be patient. He asked this team, people to give this team a chance and allow the team to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's important. Without that, this team won't grow.
Yes.
We haven't been good in a long time.
Excellent.
Be patient. Let this team go through the cycle. Eventually, I think they will come out good.
Yeah.
But
And-
Fend,
and
let
the
me
bottom
just
line,
add one
coach,
point.
no,
Just one
you're
second.
talking
I
a lot.
beg you. I beg you.
Oh,
I beg
Coach, you spoke for 30
just,
minutes.
Just one point. I beg you.
Uninterrupted.
interrupted
Achu,
at you,
you see,
sir.
no,
You still
no.
have something. What do you want to say?
say?
What do you want to
The
say?
point I want to make is
You've made plenty points.
our opinions here, like we've already established, is very, very valuable.
Yes.
People listen and watch this show.
Yes.
And they, look, when I was standing at the junction with somebody, so say, Mallam go, Mallam go, Mallam go. The person even forgot my name, so I had to turn and give him a
Give
thumbs
him a
up.
thumbs up.
And I appreciate that. The fact I want us to lay something very clear. We watch people do podcasts like we are doing. None of them run away from the obvious. I cannot sit on a podcast like this, well-renowned, known global podcast, and allow my fellow people, you, Fent, Decay,
What is the matter?
to run away from the truth that
Why do you need people to validate
listen.
your views?
No.
Yes,
It's
because
not
this is
a-
what
I
this
Oh.
want to know what he wants to say.
But he said it.
I know.
Oh.
I want to hear him.
Look,
again.
you see, you want the
finish-
team
if
to
you finish-
sound as if you are more Ghanaian than somebody.
What
Nobody
is
said
your
that.
point?
I'm coming.
You
What
have
is-
made a
The
point.
point I'm
When
making,
must someone repeat what
which
you have
we
said?
should all admit to.
Why should we admit?
Why? Why do you need someone to
Why?
validate your
Let me tell you,
views?
let me tell
Namely,
you.
everybody made
It
their
is not
points
my
here.
view.
When Danny made
It
his
is-
views,
it is whose
he
view?
didn't
Listen.
need
Oh,
us to
listen.
validate it.
Oh,
When
listen.
I made mine,
You
It is
really
not.
said-
It is.
It's not your
It
view.
is not
Whose
my
view?
view.
It's
whose
whose
view?
view?
It's about we commenting on what actually happened.
but
What
you
happened?
have.
What happened?
But you have.
No, but when I was doing it, the three of you opposed it.
We
Nobody
didn't
opposed
oppose
you.
it.
So you
Oh,
accept
Nimli.
that they scored a
We
clean
didn't
goal.
accept
Nobody
anything.
That is the problem.
Namely, nobody
That's the
opposed
problem.
you.
You heard what he just
You
said.
want to drag us into your agenda.
Thank
We
you,
won't.
thank you,
We won't
My
fall for
agenda.
that.
If you see this as an
Listen,
agenda, the point I'm making is that
You
A
made
clear
the
goal
point.
was
Oh,
disallowed.
You made that point. Why do you want to
penalty
repeat
that
it?
should have been awarded.
Yes,
was
sir.
not awarded.
But he has said a thing.
and
What?
we need to tell
This is
Ghanaians.
the fourth time he's saying
Friends,
this thing.
No.
Are we also going to have the opportunity to repeat everything we've said? Otherwise, he should
He
stop.
already said this at the beginning.
Like three times.
You are
It's
quick
on
to
his hand.
support.
Calm down.
You are quick to support.
Calm down.
When somebody
Calm
posts
down.
somebody's video
Calm
down.
and people are commenting, there you go and support.
So this is where
No,
the
but
thing is coming from.
no. You see,
This is where
no. Listen, if you go along that
This
tangent,
is where the thing is
I'm
coming
also
from.
telling the people,
Eh.
these are dishonest people.
All right.
When they see the truth, they can't admit it.
because we
Me,
didn't say that.
Coach Nimli.
Because we didn't say that. Say, ask for
listen.
the
This
clean-
this thing is recorded.
Coach
When you
Nimli.
said the thing,
Me,
I said
Coach
I
Nimli.
agree.
Me, Coach
The
Nimli.
thing wasn't offside.
Me,
see,
when it goes in our
coaches
favor,
issue
I'll
is
say it.
Ladies
When
and
it goes
gentlemen,
that we
against
are not
Ghana,
repeating
I'll
what
say
you
it.
said.
Thank you. Thank you,
You
Achu.
are not admitting what I said was
listen,
true.
I'm going to do this. Listen, bottom line, and I want to plead with everybody. Achu said it, Daniel said it, Nimli said it. Patience. Let's be patient with this team. We
What did you say,
we
patience?
come work by JK. We
We'll
come from
qualify. There's nothing of patient. We are qualified. If they fail to
Yes,
qualify,
when I
they
say
are sacked.
patient, we are
What are you
building
talking
a
about?
team. Don't sack Otuado if we don't qualify
I
for the
beg
World
you,
Cup.
yeah.
You said sack. I said don't sack. Take your own. I take my
We'll
own.
see. If you qualify to America, see what I
friends,
can
you see,
see.
he made me forget one thing. This one last
Oh, it's finished.
No,
No,
friends,
no, no,
this
no,
one
no,
first.
End the episode.
No,
You didn't allow me to talk.
Friends, this one.
End the episode. Fento Tairu. End the.
You made him interrupt me, sir. I
Use
forgot.
one
Don't
word.
allow,
What
don't
is it?
Don't allow.
You made him interrupt me, sir.
What is it?
Okay, before I
What is
agree
it?
to end.
What is it?
Don't allow.
What is
Don't
it?
allow.
If he talk, I'll talk.
Don't allow.
If he talks, I'll talk.
If you talk, go to talk, we'll not finish.
Yes, if we, you see, the thing is that
But you
if
see,
we
this
don't
is not
stop,
fair.
we'll be talking and then another person will say, I remember something.
No.
Then we'll
But
never
you
finish.
finish
This one is
You
an
finish
exception.
submitting.
He made me forget. Let me see.
Who made
How
you
can I
forget?
make you forget? Am I in your brain?
It's the interruptions, no.
What is that?
What do you
Because
want
then
to
I
say?
have to
What
respond
do
to
you want to
everything.
say?
The Kudus thing.
The
I
Kudus
don't-
thing, the Kudus
No.
thing has been exhausted.
I have a very different view. I don't even agree with having to respond to even the abusers at all. Jan said something that often when we see players respond to these things, it means it has gotten to them.
Yes.
He needs to be protected from damaging public commentary. If it means someone managing his socials for him, if it means not listening to radio or watching television, whatever it takes that protects his
Image.
sanity, he has to. Kudus is in a very delicate position. Look, Chris mentioned that he can't remember the last time a Black Stars player gets the sort of adulation Kudus gets. He shouldn't throw it away because of one bad tweet. Look, left to me alone, don't bother replying to anybody.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you, Achu. As for the confrontation matter there, I think we've exhausted that a lot, so we don't want to repeat anything else there. Just a reminder that people have emotions. There's a video of Messi calling somebody Bobo. That is slander Messi. That is the greatest footballer of all time.
No doubt.
We saw Cristiano Ronaldo, the same thing, addressing, confronting abusers in Saudi Arabia. He told them in the face that they should be thanking him that he has come here. Saudi Arabia should be applauding and not be booing him.
And that's the greatest player.
Thank you. So I'm saying that people have emotions, even the greatest players. So it's not like I support that Kudus should be replying and insulting people. But I'm just saying that when it happens, we need to understand why it happens. And that even the greatest of them, from Michael Jordan to Cristiano Ronaldo to Lionel Messi, the greatest to ever do it, the most loved footballers in the world, even they get emotional as a result of fan reaction. And the same fans that applauded them and called them goats, those same fans couldn't take it no more and decided that they needed to let them have it. And the players thought, not today. Maybe they have received it for long periods, but that occasional outburst, it happens. It has not eroded the love for Messi. It hasn't eroded the love for Cristiano Ronaldo because they confronted fans, or Sergio Ramos telling a fan to shut up and respect right at the stadium with cameras looking at him. It hasn't. Abusers are bullies. Bullies need to be dealt with. And that's my opinion, and that's the final thing we'll say about that. Now, in concluding this episode, I repeat, patience. Namely, interrupted me when I was going to say it. But I insist, Patience.
Ayew disrupted you.
No, it's okay. So patience. Let's be patient. Ayew made a fantastic point. Daniel said the same thing, that building team takes time and that there are still glaring errors in this team. Most importantly, Otto Addo needs to fix a way of defending, because at the World Cup, this man took charge of 3 matches. We conceded 7 goals. He's come back. He's taking charge of 4 matches. We've conceded 8 goals. It is not acceptable. Nobody wins competitions like this. The one thing everybody wants in this country is to win the AFCON. Otto will supervise most likely 2 AFCONs. He needs to fix that defending. There is no team in the history of any winning competition that has won the competition conceded an average of 2 goals per game. So among all the other issues that he needs to fix that the guys have talked about, for me, he needs to find a way of fixing our defending. We leak goals too much. And he's been in charge for a while. I'm not seeing the progress in that respect. In fact, it's getting worse. So, Otto, please find a way. Find a tactical structure that can accommodate you playing that front foot football that you want while maintaining that defensive solidity that is required. At the moment, it doesn't look like he's found the solution just yet. And for me, among all the things that he needs to fix, it looks like that is the biggest one that he has to fix. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about that particular match. Now, before I go, guys, I'm just going to say a sentence and you finish it for me. From these last 2 games in World Cup qualifier against Mali and against Central African Republic, I learned that
Jordan Ayew is the best player in the Black Stars.
Coach Nimli, from Mali's game and the Central African Republic game, you learned that
they should improve the quality of their defending.
That's not what you learned.
I learned
That
in 2 games, we've conceded 4 goals. That is unacceptable. So we need to improve the quality of our defending.
okay.
What are you expecting me to say?
It's okay. It's not correct.
You see this, your diabolic behavior. You see?
I choose some clue. In 2 World Cup victories against Mali and Central African Republic, I learned that.
We're in good hands, but it will take work and time.
Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Another episode of Mallam Go. This is a very special one, special review of Ghana, Central African Republic, and basically the World Cup qualifiers. The World Cup qualifiers are back next March 2025. Okay, with 2 more matches then. For now, Ghana will go on that hiatus, long break, second on the table, and looking very pretty indeed. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, let us know. And for those of you who want to finish, who will watch this video to the end, I need you to complete that sentence for me. That from these 2 games, you learned that. Finish it for me under the comments. Let us know what you think, what you learned from these 2 matches. Mallam Go Podcast by Beto will be back again with another episode. Until then, cheers.